Good morning, and welcome to A Better World with Julann and Fran. I'm Julann.
And I'm Fran, and today we have life coach and hypnotherapist Shelby Ray Brown. Thank you, Shelby Ray.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And can
Thank
you
you for
talk?
inviting.
Oh, well, it's our honor.
Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what it is that you're doing that's making the world a better place?
I am making myself a better person.
Mm,
And what I've decided that, through all the different things that are going on, I thought, what can I do? We can go out and we can do all these other kinds of things. And with everything going on in the world, and I was got to a point where I was so frustrated. And I said, well, what can I do? I can start at home. I can start right here and just be the best person I can be for what I know right now. And that's what I have been doing. I'm not looking out saying you. No, I'm starting here because I thought this would make the biggest impact so that I would be solid in who I am and what I do for the values that I have. Present that, wear that as, you know, that's what I
Proudly,
wear.
right,
Yeah.
as proudly,
That's
right.
what I do.
It just made me
And
think of Man in the Mirror. I love that
yeah,
song, you know? And
yeah. Yeah. And it makes me feel stronger. And for everything that happens, turn around and I go, okay, so what can I do? What can I do about this? And so that's
that's
basically
perfect.
it. Yeah. I mean, which has led to other things, but I'm just saying that's the premise that I started off with. And I found, yeah, I feel good about that. And I can tell because of the people around me, the way that they respond, that I think I made a good decision.
Yeah.
yes,
What you put out, you get back, right? So you're
Mhm.
making the world a better place. That's great.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
just,
Yeah,
and I will tell you that if I end up in, I'm going to say conflict, but the conflict is not necessarily an argument, but maybe confusion about what's going on or something happens. I have to say, I check myself first and
Me
I
too.
say, okay, how can I make this better for me? How can I make this better for the other person? Because I'm happily not in a place where I do the right and wrong thing because it's point of view. It's
Exactly.
point of view.
It's
Yeah,
perception, right? We talk about this all the time. Two people are standing watching the same accident, and their views of what happened are so different because their
absolutely.
perception is so different. You're right.
Right. Well, for example, that's so funny you said that because, well, not funny because it's an accident, but um, point of view. So if you're a slow driver and you like to creep along, and there's another person, and there's an accident, and somebody's driving really, really fast, you're going to go, well, the slow driver, you know, they were being careful, but that fast driver came by and, you know, but if you're a fast driver and you're going, that other person is creeping along when you got to just go
It's so
straight. Let's get
dangerous. They're
on
going
with
to,
it. Point of view, point
exactly.
of view. Who's
Right.
guilty? Whose side are you taking? The way you look at the accident, all of those things change because of your point of view. You know, I have a friend
Right.
who's a fast driver and she drives like from my perspective, a race car driver. Because it's not like you know, tick,
Right.
look, go. She's like, what's going on here? Jump. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Jump. Oh boy. Oh boy.
And do you ever notice that when the people do that, you get to the next light and you're right there with me? So you went really,
Yeah.
really fast, and I didn't go cutting in and out, and then I laugh when I get there, which is not very nice, I guess. I think to
Yeah.
myself, you see, all that rushing. I just
But
bought
that's
the
not the
kids,
thing. Temperaments. It's
yeah,
temperaments
I bought
of
the kids a book about the little blue truck. I love the little blue truck, and I have young grandchildren. And there's a new one that I just bought about the red racer, and she wants to
Mhm.
race. And little blue truck says, "Listen, it's nice to go slow sometimes because you get to see everything. You know, it's just perception, and perspective.
Yeah.
It's true.
What I've seen it 1,000 times. I don't need to see, but I, you know, it's I just, I have another
But
friend
have you
who's
seen
like,
it? You might not have seen it.
right.
We just went to Barbados and it was an exhale. It was perfect, really. There wasn't a thing. Well, you're on vacation, everything should be perfect. But I tried to do things like notice the weave on the towels and really, really, really see every little thing. Like even the last day we were coming back to New York and everybody was in their travel clothes, long pants and sneakers, and I had on shorts. And they were like, "What are you doing?" I said, they were sitting in the air conditioning waiting for the van to pick us up. I went into the ocean, just my legs into the pool because I wanted to have every last second I could and just pay attention to every little detail. And I'm I brought it home. I'm trying to be more, I try all the time, but really all the way down. Like when you wash your hands and you know what I mean? You're putting the soap on. A lot of times you're, whatever you're doing. I mean, I sing songs because of my grandkids, so, but you're not paying attention. You're rushing to the next thing. And it really is a nice way to spend the day, you know?
Right. Right. It is. I've traveled a lot. So when I go, because of work, before, and I said, I want to know the people. I want to know the place, and I'm going to know the place by the people. So when I'm sure you've been to Europe, and when you're there, you go, this is history. What is that like
Right?
to, there's a castle. This castle's been here a long time. What is it like to be, this is your place. This is day to day for you. But for
Right.
me, it wasn't. Um, when I was in Italy, I'd walk down the streets, the cobble streets, which nobody tells you ahead of time that everything is uneven, you know, but it's okay. It's okay. You learn. That's one of the things
Right.
you know about
Mm.
when you're traveling.
Right.
But when you walk down the street and then you turn the corner and you see the Duomo and you see the clouds and you feel like you're living inside a postcard and all that's missing is the music.
Right.
Ah, right? Like, where's the music? And
It's
the
true.
people are sitting on the stairs and having lunch, talking to each other, all these different things. And it's just wonderful. It's
It's
wonderful. And I will tell you that one of my favorite things that I wanted to have is to be on the streets, sitting in a cafe, like all the old movies.
yeah,
Mhm.
I wanted to have that photo,
watching the
and I have it.
people.
Oh,
Yeah.
good for you.
It's nice to
Yeah.
just sit and watch everybody. I even do that in Manhattan. Like if I'm meeting
Yeah.
a friend and we're meeting at a restaurant or something, I try to get there early and just sit. And I could sit all day long and watch, and I try to guess, who's that? Are they girlfriend and boyfriend? Are they husband and wife? I love to watch
Right.
people. But
Yes.
when I'm in Europe too, we just went to where the heck did I go, Fran? Portugal? Yes.
Yes.
Did I? Yes.
On my list.
And I stood outside these churches again that were, hundreds of years old and thought, I'm standing in the same place that someone did hundreds of years ago. You know, what, how lucky am I, to experience that? I'd love to time
Yeah.
travel, but that's another podcast.
Yeah, a lot of things have happened. So, watching people, when I was living in Vegas, one of the things when people, you don't have anything to do, or it just felt like you want to get out, or you'd go to a casino and sit in the lobby and sit and just watch the people. Because a lot of times when people go to Vegas, they change their personalities because they feel like they can be somebody else. And I guess
Because
that's part of the slogan, what happens in Vegas stays in
if it
Vegas.
stays,
So, you know, but you go and sit, and my friend and I, we would sit, and then we'd have conversations of going, that person over there, that couple over there. And then we would give the dialogue of what they were saying.
that's
Totally
fun.
off. Probably saying, where's my ticket? And we're going, oh, and
Yes,
that's
it's
it.
so romantic,
Secret agent. It's a entertainment, easy entertainment.
right?
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned when you began that you were healing yourself. And
Mhm.
that is so, so important. I think perhaps especially for women, because from the time we're little girls, we are commended for giving and for taking care of someone else and for doing everything and, being the caregiver. And I think uh, often, and even biologically, if a woman becomes pregnant, all of her organs get pushed aside in favor of the baby. And I
Mhm.
think sometimes women get so used to living that lifestyle that they forget the importance of healing yourself and taking care of your own needs first.
Absolutely. So I'm so glad you brought that up because last year I had a thing this year. So I look at myself sometimes and I go, is this really my thought? Or is this
Mm.
a condition? Was I conditioned to think like that? Was I conditioned to behave like that? Or is it my real thought? Because if I look around, a lot of women are doing the same thing. So I'm thinking, is this really in our best interest? Does this help me take care of myself better? Because I believe in the whole concept that I spoke about earlier. Taking care of myself makes the rest of the world better. Why? Because you don't have to take care of me. You don't have to worry about me. Take care of yourself, have full responsibility for yourself, and the whole world is better. Because the more people who do that, the better the entire world is.
Right.
So we don't, right? You know what I mean? So in that, there's just different issues that come up, and I'm going, why am I having a problem with this? Is it conditioning or is this really me? Which one is it? And I sit and I have to question myself.
But that's
Is
a
it
great
really
way to,
me? Is
yeah,
that part of my personality? Or is it conditioning? So if you're growing up, you're shy, you're shy, you're shy, is that really true or is it conditioning?
right.
This is my sister. You like ugly shoes. You like ugly shoes. And I'm going, do I really like ugly shoes? I think that's kind of cool. But they're not ugly to me. They're interesting
Exactly.
because I do weird stuff. Okay, fine. I do weird stuff. So I saw this lady who was wearing green elf shoes last year, not last year, the year before. And I said, I love those elf shoes. I want green elf shoes. So I was thinking, how do I find green elf shoes? I don't want
Amazon.
to pay $5 for them. But I found some elf shoes. I
Nice.
wore my elf shoes. My friend was talking to me. She looked down at my feet and went, uh, uh.
That's because you're young at heart. When you're young at heart, you get to do all those fun things. You watch the kids and joy is just, I watch my granddaughter and the joy is oozing out of her. And we lose that because we have to go to work and we have to do the laundry and but if you could bring a little of that young joy into every day, it's so much more fun. And who doesn't want to do laundry wearing elf shoes? I would do that. It
You
would make
see,
the
makes
laundry
life
much
so
more
much better.
fun.
Yeah, that's another thing I do is I time everything. And I don't know if that's a kid thing but I time everything so I can know how long it's going to take me so to make sure I can get everything done. So I know exactly on my laundry. I it's like and then yeah, I find joy in a lot of weird things. And
Do you like
makes
one
me
of the
laugh.
things that I do is I'll say, well, I have to do, have my to-do list. And then when I'm done with all of that, I'm going to read my book because I love to read my book. And that's like my reward, which other people
Yeah.
might say, just read your book. You know what I mean? Like, don't, but I find it motivates me to get my stuff done, that reward at the end. You know what I mean?
Yes. And when you're reading it, if you were reading it before you got the stuff, wouldn't you be distracted
Yes, I
Right.
would.
because
I
you got
definitely
this
would.
other stuff done?
Mhm.
But what about the joy of the list? I'm sorry, they say, you don't want to have this to do. I like it.
I
I
like to
love,
check off my list.
oh my goodness, absolute joy.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolute joy. And,
Absolutely.
But you know
you
what?
can't accomplish all of that in the day. Yeah, I can. And
Yeah,
I
you
actually
can.
enjoy it.
Yeah. But it's hard too when you have people in your family. that are not list makers and they do not care about checking off the item. So you have to learn how to adjust and you do your thing. And that's the thing too, as I get older, you do you, whatever you want. Like I'm so good now at like if there's a family drama, because we have a big extended family, mother-in-law, cousins, everybody. And I find I can say, Whatever. I don't care what they do. You know what I mean? I don't make phone calls or get involved. I'm just like, nope, I'm not interested in that. So that's a good thing too as we get older. A lot of good things come with age, really.
Yeah, I've told everybody it's so much better being older. So much better. Well, because you find out you have choices.
Exactly.
You've always had choices, but
Right.
because you're parented, you keep thinking that you need to be parented. When finally you realize, I don't need to be parented. Some people, well, I'm a parent. Why do I need to be parented? I'm not a parent, but still, I'm just thinking, why do I
Right.
need permission when it's right there?
Right,
Exactly.
I can just do it. Right,
right. And as long as you're taking responsibility for what you're doing, and you certainly are, then, give it a try. What the heck?
right, right. I have a friend who she she's an opportunity to go to Nairobi to speak, and she called me, and she's scared to go by herself,
Mm,
or however the situation is, and she said that she wanted her friends. They keep saying they're going to go. I said, "Ooh, be careful about that because if they haven't bought a ticket and they haven't done things, I don't know if that person's really going to go." So
Yeah, you have to
sometimes you
get
just have to
shots and everything, don't
go.
you? I mean, it's a process. You can't just wake up today and go to
Absolutely.
Nairobi. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but
And what you
just
were
go for
saying, yeah, absolutely. And what you were saying earlier about the importance of being healed is not only does that mean that then nobody has to take care of you because you're responsible for you, but as Julann said earlier, what you put out, you get back. So when you're emanating that healed energy, people know that healing is possible and they're probably more attracted to you. Do you find that people, like when you're just waiting in line to check out your groceries or something, people will start talking to you?
I found ever since I became a hypnotherapist that I
Yeah.
tend to talk to people, which is kind of odd for me. Because people do talk. Sometimes people talk at you, and it's okay. It's just okay. I found just recently this person just really wants to talk. Let them talk. But just that, I also found, I don't know if you two have experienced this, within people noticing the healing, and they will say, there will be a conversation. Shelby, how did you do it? How did you do it? I made a decision and I followed through on my decision.
Right.
So,
And
Yeah.
again, you took responsibility for yourself. You took responsibility for the role you're playing in your life, as
right,
opposed to saying, I'm this person because my mother raised me this way, or my father did that, or my siblings, or my cousins, or whoever it may have been. I am me, and I am responsible for me. And so
right.
that's what allows you to heal. And it can be very difficult for some people to release that.
Yeah. They need to
Well,
blame.
sometimes, yes, but sometimes you're put in a position where that's your choice. Sink or swim.
Right.
Make a decision and decide to follow through. The- I think the biggest part is trying to be ahead of the game because you don't know what it's going to turn out like. You don't know the future, but trust yourself. You've got lots. You're here right now. You've got a whole lot of years behind you to trust yourself to
Right.
move forward. You know, I was listening to the recording that you sent me, and I was thinking about it. One day, I'm in LA and I take the bus, and it's been fascinating, because it is allowing me to see the city. Because in that you're in a car and you're just driving by stuff. You just go where you.
Right.
But there's a lot of things here, museums, all kinds of things that are fascinating, right? So I was sitting there waiting, and this lady comes up not to me. She's just sitting there. I don't know how old she is. I'm not good at looking at people and finding their age, but I'm sure she was over 40. And she looked dehydrated. She was bent over, looked like she hadn't had food. So I went over to her and I said, "Would you like to have my lunch?" I was going to work. And she gave me this look as if I had said the most rude thing to her. And and she started, mumbling and stuff. She got up, walked right across the street and as far away from me as she could get.
Hmm.
And I went, "Oh, I invaded her world. How dare I?" So then later on, I kept going, same day, and I saw a man going through the garbage. And I walked up to him just quietly and close, and I said, "Would you like to have my lunch?" Ah, ah, no,
Wow.
ah.
Really?
Once again, moved away. And I said, "See, assumptions, number one. Number two, you look out and people say, well, gotta go help." You know what? People make decisions. They make decisions. This is a better place for them.
Right.
How dare I come up and tell you you need to live better? You need to eat. How dare I? We're all put on this earth. And once again, we can make the decisions. So I went, unless somebody's asking me, how dare I? How dare you make assumptions about the way I have chosen to live?
That's not what you were doing. You were
That's
just
from
trying
them.
to help. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, still did
That's,
you still did a beautiful thing though.
Yeah. Did you finally eat that lunch? I want to know. What was it? You were
no,
trying to get rid of it all day. It was a
I
bad
know.
lunch.
Maybe that's what they were thinking. You don't want it? I don't want
I
it.
don't want it.
What could it be? What's in that sandwich or whatever it was?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
I don't know.
So, some people have made decisions that I'm unaware just because I choose to live in a certain kind of way. I mean, when I decided, because when I moved to LA, my car said, "That's enough."
Oh,
It's fine. I just moved here. I'm not buying a car. I'll use public transportation. Let's see how that works out. Like I said, for me, it was fascinating because I felt like I was getting to learn the place. I was getting out to know more, and it was fascinating. But I also looked at, you know, I came in contact with people I normally wouldn't have come in contact with. But I also learned something. They taught me something. Not everybody is, you know, they've made decisions to be where they are and they feel good about themselves.
Right. They're happy where they are, or
Exactly.
they're okay with where they are, you know.
There
But
you go.
I'm very tall, right? I'm 5'9", and I go to the supermarket, and if I see someone who's struggling, they're looking, they're tiny, and they're looking, and and I always say, "Can I help you reach that?" And some people are, "Oh, thank you. I was just wondering what I'm going," and other people are, they're worried. Am I going to take their bag? Am I going to, people, they don't always react. I don't want to say the way they should, but they're leery, So, maybe it was tuna fish and they smelled it. No, just kidding.
the lunch.
The lunch. Yeah, back
Well,
to lunch.
it may be, yeah, but we don't know what happened to them earlier. So,
Right.
but
Exactly.
yeah, I do the very same thing because
Yeah.
sometimes
Trying to
I go,
help.
I
Yeah.
can help.
And
Yeah.
not everybody wants it. As I said, 5 couples went away and we were out to dinner and the waitress must have been having a bad day. She was
Hmm.
really bad mood, bad mood. She wasn't happy. She wasn't pleased. And we're a big table. Now, who knows? Maybe it was an all-inclusive place. So maybe I don't know what her deal was, but she was in a bad mood. So some of the women started talking about it. So I said, "Hey, how's your day going?" Now I was on the inside of the table and she was on the outside, and she was physically taken aback. Not just you could see a difference in her body language and everything. She said, "Ah, it's doing okay." I said, "Ah, hopefully it'll be over soon. You're going to do something fun tonight." We have a little conversation. So one of the girls says, "I think I'm going to complain and ask for a different server." So I said, "Please don't do that." I said, "Listen, I'm going to send some good vibes and she's going to be okay." So we're talking, because she's busy, and she came back. She was a different person. She really was. I don't know if it was asking her, treating her like a human being, right? Or
Yes.
the vibes I sent. But they were like, wow, you did that. You First of all, don't complain and get a different server at a restaurant where people can
Yeah.
mess with your food. I don't
Yeah.
care. Maybe she would never do that. I wouldn't do that. I would never do it anyway, but I wouldn't complain about somebody because you don't know. Just like online and when they're driving and we don't know what somebody else is going through. You know what I mean? But if we could show a little kindness, which is what you did by offering your lunch. Granted, they weren't in a place where they were ready to accept it, but I think it's nice to be kind and to, I don't know, give a person the benefit of the doubt and,
Right, right.
see if you can
Well,
make a
like I
difference.
said, I wasn't offended,
Right.
but I looked at it and I go, "Ooh,
A learning
how dare you?"
experience. Right.
Yeah, just honor
That's
them.
good.
They're people. Just honor them, respect them for who they are, what they want.
Right. Don't be
Yeah,
offended. Take the emotion out of it and
right.
continue. That's a good way
Yeah.
to be.
Now, do you find as a coach and a hypnotherapist, do you find that you attract a particular type of client?
I do, but it's mm, kind of, I'm saying that, yes, because there's different things about me that you wouldn't think. And the kinds of clients that I attract, they'll say something like, well, the same. Well, I was raised in the military. I went into the military. Right now, I work in the entertainment industry. And she was, just talking about all these different things. And I said, that's really interesting because I was raised in the military. I was in the entertainment industry, and then I went, oh, because all the time we were training, they're saying the people be you, because the people who will be attracted to you are the people who are like you. And so far, it's held very, very true. Very, very true. Because those are kind of like little things that people don't know. I don't know if either one of you were raised in the military, but there's certain things that are particular about the way that we're raised. And you wouldn't know that if you've never experienced it, you know? So most people just think about the fact that we moved a lot. But there's so many other things, different rules. When you hear taps in the morning, I went to go
Right.
visit my brother. I stayed at a military hotel, and I was going,
Brought back
oh yeah,
memories.
four
Yeah.
o'clock, you know. And I was thinking, if somebody was here that was not familiar with that, that was like, oh, home.
Right.
Well, as other people are like, why are they doing that? And why are people stopping on the street? Why are people saluting? Why? Because that's what we do.
Right.
That's what happened. Yeah.
It's so interesting to me how many therapists say that they attract people with whom they share
Yes.
issues
Right.
or
Do you
think
think it's the energy?
it may well be. It may well be, because you I'm sure put out this, and it feels to me you put out this very healed energy and you feel very safe and I'm sure you've listened very well to people because you really want to know what's going on with them and you want to, from that point, either use your own experience or use your training or both
Mhm.
to help them to
Yes.
heal. And I do think that you emanate that.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I like to say I'm a very good listener. And probably because I moved a lot and I'm always the new person or the person that they go, you're not from here, or whatever. But I have always been, get it, take some time to get to know me.
Right.
You don't use the clues that are on what you perceive on the outside to formulate who I am and treat me. I mean, we all do that, but you might want to take some time to get to know me because there's some things that you wouldn't think that I'm
Right.
made of
Right.
that are yeah. So
Wow. That's wonderful. Um,
That's
Jewel, do you have any more questions?
well, uh, if there was one thing that you'd want people who are listening to take away, what would it be?
play your life fully, be who you are, and all the things you've dreamed of when you were a kid that you wanted to be, do them and appreciate people as human beings, not the other stuff,
Right.
that they were given or born with to live their lives. Find out what else is inside them that makes them interesting and fun for you to interact with.
Oh, I love that.
Me
That's really
too.
beautiful. And when people want to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
They can email me at myhypnotherapistshelby.com.
Nice.
And, oh, excuse me, my hypnotherapist, myhypnotherapistshelby@gmail.com. Or they can just call me 702-326-2636.
Very
Okay.
nice.
And is your
And I do
email
coaching
address,
and
so, I'm sorry, is your email address all one word? Are there any spaces or?
yes, all smushed
Oh,
together.
okay, perfect. And were you going to say something else?
Um, I was,
Uh,
thought went out of my head.
Oh, all right then. So thank you very much, Shelby Ray Brown. This has been a very, very entertaining and interesting interview.
It has. It was perfect.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you. I appreciate both of you. And thank you for doing this. I remember when you came as an interview, Fran, and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. So I'm so glad to finally meet you, Julianne,
Oh,
or Jewel, or Ju can I
Anything with a
call you
J?
J? Anything with a J. Anything with a J.
Thanks.
thank you. And it was
Great.
great to see you. And this has been another episode of A Better World with Julann and Fran with our guest, Shelby Ray Brown. Please like and share this video far and wide, and please join us for another interview. Thank you.
Take care.
So
Thank
long for
you.
now.